I'm going to walk you through a few things. Now, don't let the crown disappoint you. Those are actually not for me. I bought the bourbon mash. Do not waste your time because it is terrible. The crown is for a client of mine that comes into town and she digs the Crown and Coke. Maker's Mark for people that don't know better. Old Rippy was a gift, and there's a story behind all that. And Old Forester, the white dog, just so everybody can taste what it tastes like before it's in the oak. Old Hickory is local, best for a mixer. The Woodford was a gift. The St. Augustine was a gift, and that's from Florida. They do a double cask. Pretty interesting. It's young, very young. Bibb and Tucker, I'm not a fan. I had high expectations. Old Charter, this couple that lives across the way from us, the wife, really neat lady, and she digs it. So I have her a bottle for when she needs it. That's just these are just some on the wall. So let's get what you'll see here. These are just, you know, for the party and stuff like that. If you've never tried any of these Blood Oaths, that's 2, there's 3, and this is the newest 4. I recommend any of those. Now, it's a C note per, but it is really good. We'll go here. Booker's, the little book is really good. And that's made by Freddie. That's the youngest one, and this is not. If you've ever had Booker's, that's bringing the heat. It's a small batch, and this is too, but it's a lot smoother. Some Japanese whiskeys. This Pennington's, it's a local distiller. This is kind of a novelty thing, the chocolate whiskey. Let's see, what do we have here? There's an Elijah Craig. That's the typical small batch. What is not typical, that is 18 year, and that is not for sissies, nor is it cheap. This is a barrel proof Elijah Craig, and this is a 12 store pick. One of the things I like to do when I do a tasting, I really like the honey or the peach brandy. It's a great palate cleanser. There's a Willet pot still. A couple of different orphan barrels, if you've ever heard of that. Forged Oak, and then the Barter House. I'm about to head to Canada, so I think we can take, well, whatever these 375s are going with me. So, and you can see some of the bitters. Anyway, so I'm going to back out a little bit, and this is the collection. So kind of give you a quick rundown. You can see a lot of different Knob Creeks. I'm not sure what else is back there. There's Hudson's Baby Bourbon, more Knob Creek. This is a cask strength rye, 9 years old. It's 119.8, so basically 120 proof. See a lot of different bullets, stuff like that. Russells, different Russells. This is interesting. If you ever find this Heaven Hill bottled in bond, it is going to be a cheap $10 to $15. It's a good sipper, trust me. Sazerac Rye, OKI. If you ever get to find one of those, that's a good drink. Rowan's Creek, Noah's Mill, Black Dirt, that's a pretty hard find. Eagle Rare, Stranahan's, Old Granddad. There's a Woodford Masters Distill in there, and a few others. One of my favorite distilleries out of Utah, High West. There's a Bjor, a Yip, a Midwinter Nights Dram. There's a bunch of E.H. Taylor in there. Willet 2, 3, and 4. I got a couple of different 3s. Down here, there's 3 or 4 of the 175s of Special Reserve. There's an antique. Another Blood Oath. A couple of Stag Juniors, Cumberland Cask. That's a vatted rye. This is a vatted rye, which is fancy for mixed. That is a good drink. It's a 16-year cask strength, about 123 proof. Not cheap. All the 1792s, if you've ever had any of that, and just about every kind of Jefferson's Reserve. I just got the wheated. That's a good drink. Alright. And again, I'm not pulling them all out. Black Maple Hill, Elmer T. Lee. The Basil Hayden, if you've ever had their real high rye content. The regular Basil Hayden's pretty popular. That was the first bucket list bourbon I ever bought. There's a straight rye and the dark rye. You may not have ever heard of Widow Jane, but I've got a lot of the varietals, 8, 10, 12 year, Applewood. Very, very tasty. Four Roses. I've got a Elliott Select. The barrel strength, single barrels, there's 10 mash bills. I have 9 of them. Another one of my favorite distilleries is Bowman. Usually I'm more of a single barrel or a barrel proof guy. They're small batch, $30 to $35. Get you one of those. It's cheap and it's very tasty. And I've got some of their specials. They have a port finish. That's a good drink too. So that kind of gives you an idea. You know, I've got the geeky glassware and stuff. So roughly 200 bottles. And there's, you know, you can see there's Japanese, there's some Irish, and all that other shenanigans. Mixtures, rums. Let's see. There's some other stuff in our wine cooler. And then our little tequila selection. So there you have it.